It's another action-packed edition of the Valley's most detailed geeky weather forecast. It's weather for weather geeks here on the Friday Eve edition. Recording this at about 7:20 on this Thursday evening, almost Friday. And we've got a lot to talk about this evening, so let's get right to it. Going to show you some current radars. When I recorded this, they were current, of course, but for most of us, this will get a little outdated as far as the radar information goes. But today's high was 36. It overachieved a little bit with some sneaky afternoon sun working in, and that's allowed the airport temperature to rise a few degrees above our forecast of 33 this afternoon. Now, again, the radar when I recorded this at 7:22 looked like this. Still some inconsequential flurries out there. We've had these for a few hours now. Eastern parts of Columbiana County around Rogers, heading over towards East Palestine, those places where the most numerous flurries are, or were, at 7:22 this evening. Much more consequential snow off to the north, a pretty healthy lake effect band east of Cleveland along I-90, and this extends all the way up the lake into Erie and into the Buffalo area as well. Let's take a quick detour south because, boy, some pretty far south latitudes are going to get in on some wintry weather over the next 48 hours. Notice some snow falling across parts of central Texas around San Antonio and Austin. And winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings issued for a lot of places that, don't typically see a lot of winter weather, so it doesn't take much snow for a winter storm warning to be issued in Mississippi and Alabama, especially the southern parts of those states. They're only expecting, coating to an inch or two in a lot of places, but that's enough for a winter storm warning that far to the south. We hardly blink at a coating to an inch or two, especially by mid to late winter around northeast Ohio and western PA. And again, it's not a ton of snow, but even as far south as New Orleans, there could be some flakes seen in the air. Probably won't stick, but don't have to head too far north and west of New Orleans to find some small accumulations of snow in parts of Louisiana and into Mississippi. And actually, some wet snow mixed with some rain as far north as parts of the Carolinas through Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and into parts of Friday night as well. So Raleigh could see a small accumulation, maybe parts of the Charlotte metro as well. All right, back here at home. We do not have any watches, warnings, or advisories out right now. We're going to have a sunnier day on Friday. Southwesterly wind is not going to help us a whole lot. The sun is so weak at this time of the year. We're, 13 days away from the, or 14 days away from the solstice. And the sun is almost as low as it gets at this time, or at any time of the year. And so, even though it's a nice sunny day tomorrow, it's fairly ineffective sunshine. All right, our clipper system for the start of the weekend. Not much has changed on our overall thinking here. I think it starts to snow by early to mid-afternoon on Saturday, and snow will be with us for a lot of Saturday evening. This will kind of transition into more of a lake effect or lake-enhanced regime by the overnight hours Saturday night and into Sunday morning. So what that will mean is areas that typically see more lake effect than other areas could see some bonus snow out of this. So here's what I've done with the snow forecast from Saturday afternoon through Sunday morning. 3 to 5 inches in the primary northeast Ohio snow belt, including parts of Geauga County, Lake County, Ashtabula County, and over into Crawford and Erie counties in PA. In our viewing area, I've allowed for a total of 3, 4, maybe 5, up towards Route 87, then over across the state line into the Greenville area, New Lebanon, maybe as far south as Sandy Lake in Mercer. But once you're down towards I-80 and into Mahoning County and Lawrence County and a lot of Columbiana County, this should be a general 1 to 3 inch snowfall event from Saturday afternoon through Saturday night and early on Sunday. Now, the roads can get slick, especially anything untreated. Side roads, certainly sidewalks and parking lots will get a little slick if they are not salted. Most of this will be, I suspect, after dark on Saturday, even though it'll start to snow in the afternoon. It'll be close to freezing, and road temperatures aren't super cold yet, and so it may take a little while for this to have much of an impact on anything paved Saturday. But after dark, it'll have an easier time sticking, I think, across the region. And, of course, reduced visibility always a concern, especially at night. If you run into some snow bands, could be some slow travel as a result. So our weekend forecast looks like this. Sneaking up to about freezing or so before the snow begins on Saturday, but then a fresh injection of Arctic air on Sunday. No higher than 27. Wind chills probably no higher than the lower and middle teens on Sunday. The snow showers are, I think, restricted to the first few hours of daylight. They should be out of here pretty quickly Sunday morning. But hot on its heels, another Alberta Clipper type system coming our way early next week. And this is mostly going to be Monday afternoon into Monday night and into parts of Tuesday morning as well. A fresh batch of Arctic air, even colder air coming south, little area of low pressure forming along a front, and this will spell, I think, some accumulating snow for us. Again, starting Monday afternoon, continuing to Monday night and into parts of Tuesday. And while this should not be a big storm, this may be enough to cause some school adjustments for Tuesday morning. A little early to be speculating on that, but I'll speculate anyway, that there's the possibility of maybe some delays Tuesday morning. Again, fresh injection of Arctic air behind that Monday into Tuesday system. Our coldest day is probably Wednesday next week. This number might even be a little high. 21, 22 might just about do it. Overnight lows well down into the teens. Could be another weak little clipper system coming through on Thursday with possibility of a little more snow. There's no big storms coming our way in the foreseeable future. Notice what the trend is here as we go towards roughly a week before Christmas. On the European modeling, a warming trend here. Let me grab my marker again. A warming trend right around the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. There might be a little bit of a warming trend for a few days as we go through that period, around the 18th, 19th, 20th. But then I suspect, at least according to the latest few runs of modeling, I suspect we'll turn colder again in time for Christmas. Now, it doesn't look to me to be as cold as the air mass that we're going to have over the next week. But let me show you what I mean here. Here's that brief warm-up right around the 18th, 19th, 20th. And then watch the cold ooze south out of Canada again, 21st, 22nd, 23rd of the month. Now, again, right now, a couple of weeks out, my suspicion is this won't be as brutal of an air mass as we'll have during the middle of next week. But my suspicion is it turns cold again in time for Christmas. So what about the longer range? It's Thursday evening, so we get a fresh run of the European long range modeling. This set of modeling goes out 46 days. And you know what that means. Always take it with a grain of salt. But we look at it because it is interesting to look at. It's interesting to pay attention to maybe signals and subtleties in the patterns, but certainly we can't use this or any other model to pinpoint forecasts 40 days out. Oh, it's going to snow this day, or it's going to be 22 degrees this day. No way you can do that that far out. But again, interesting to look at the overall pattern here. And the song it's singing generally as we go into January is not as harsh as the next 10 days, or a week anyway. And the cold may be centered a little farther west in North America than it will be over the next week. What do I mean by that? Well, right now the cold is kind of going to be centered right here. As we get into January, it may be more centered out here. It'll still get cold, of course, in the east, but the biggest change from average, the core of the real cold, may be centered more out here in January instead around the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley. I still suspect January is a colder than average month, but it may not be as far below average as December is likely to turn out to be. That's my gut feeling right now, but today's only the 7th? We're barely into December, so this is just speculation for the time being, but that's kind of what I'm seeing on the long-range modeling right now. All right, tomorrow evening we'll probably do a live edition of Weather for Weather Geeks on Facebook, as we'll be a day away from our Clipper Snows, Saturday and Saturday nights. We'll probably do a live edition, get a little bigger audience for Weather Geeks when we do it live on Facebook. And tonight, late news because of football, but I'll have an update with the latest runs of the models. I have a latest update on our weekend forecast and much, much more tonight on 21 News. Thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks, and have a great Thursday night.